Tonight, a man accused of attacking two police officers. Noosa Council joins calls to remove shark nets. Beaches packed for the public holiday. And the Joanne Broncos soaking up grand final glory.
Live from the Sunshine Coast, this is 7 News with Joanne Desmond.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. A 53-year-old coastman will remain behind bars after allegedly ramming a police car and threatening officers with a knife. Police say one of the officers was only a few months into the role. Rebecca Jensen has more.
53-year-old Brad Gavin Jones was allegedly sitting inside his Mercedes sedan parked opposite the Maroochydore police station before the attack. It's believed he rammed an unmarked police vehicle that was returning to station just before 9 on Friday night, allegedly lunging at officers with a knife.
We allege that the driver of the Mercedes was armed with a weapon. There was an exchange between the uniformed police officers and that driver. 5 shots were fired at the Yamundi man in an attempt to stop his approach before he was tasered and arrested. So one of the officers is quite junior in service, perhaps 3 to 6 months service. The other officer is an experienced officer. Jones has been charged with multiple offences, including dangerous operation of a motor vehicle and going armed to cause fear. He faced Maroochydore Magistrates Court on Saturday. He'll remain behind bars as police try to piece together the circumstances of the incident, which is being investigated by the Ethical Standards Commission.
All right, thanks for that, Rebecca. Holidaymakers have watched the delicate rescue of a humpback whale trapped for 3 hours in shark nets off Noosa. The latest entanglement is just days after protesters and the Noosa mayor called for the nets to be removed.
Snared by shark nets off Noosa Main Beach, the southern migration turns south for this young whale and its worried mother.
See that? That's a very stressed mother.
The alarm was raised at 6:45 this morning by beachgoers who phoned the shark hotline. Once rescuers arrived from Mooloolaba, it took 45 minutes to cut the adolescent free.
We just know this is going to become more and more frequent and nobody likes to see it. It's very distressing.
Hordes of holidaymakers watched from the shore, the same place where on Saturday protesters rallied against the nets.
We have increasing population of humans, whales and sharks, but the shark nets are not effective.
They claim Queensland is the only place where shark nets aren't removed during whale season. Noosa Mayor Frank Wilkie wants that to change.
We'll put our hand up, we'll support the state government if they want to trial in Noosa the removal of shark nets during whale migration season.
In just the past 2 weeks, the Department of Primary Industries says 7 whales have been entangled on Queensland's Humpback Highway.
Let me make it very clear, the purpose of the Shark Control Program is to protect human life.
The ocean is not a swimming pool, it's an ecosystem that we all rely on.
Connor Alforque, 7 News.
A woman has been flown to hospital after falling up to 10 metres down Chicken Rock at Mount Tibrogargan. It's believed the hiker took a tumble mid-morning on Saturday, suffering head and ankle injuries. Several crews responded, including technical rescue teams who helped winch the woman to safety. The Life Flight chopper took her to school, where she remains in a stable condition. Well, it's been a bumper school break for the Sunshine Coast, with visitation up more than 10%. Thousands took advantage of the perfect weather and long weekend, but not without incident.
Public holiday pandemonium at Parklands. A car lands on its side, leaving this caravan in a precarious position for 2 grey nomads. It meant the Bruce Highway was extra busy this afternoon, like pretty much everywhere.
It's been well above our average school holidays.
Visitation is up 11% on last year, but lifeguards say incidents have been down.
We couldn't ask for anything more. We've had minimal rescues throughout the whole September school holidays, which has been fantastic.
The sentiment was shared from Peregian Beach.
That's a lovely area. We'd be back in a pinch, yeah.
To Noosa.
Where else would you want to be? It's stunning. Blue sky, not a cloud.
The interstate tourists have already arrived.
Because it's nice and warm and the weather's not so miserable like it is in Sydney.
We just went for a little swim and now we're cooling off with snow cones.
On a 28-degree day, the kids knew where to go, seeing out the school holidays with one final thrill at Woombai.
The corners are very sharp, so I almost fly off.
Better than school?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's until they have to walk back up the hill again.
That way's Thrill Hill, this way's Fitness Hill. And we're going to put an elevator in.
They'll wake up with the same feeling when they have to go back to school tomorrow. Connor Alforque, 7 News.
Well, Gympie residents impacted by last week's sudden hailstorm are being urged to be alert for disaster chasers. The Insurance Council says scammers prey on communities who are recovering from extreme weather to make money. They offer clean-up or debris removal services, requesting payments up front, then leave the job incomplete. It's advised to speak with your insurer before agreeing to any repairs or rebuilding works. Well, the Brisbane Broncos are the toast of the state tonight after winning not one but 2 grand finals, with Kiwana's own Tyson Smoothie and Hayley Maddock both in the thick of the action. And the men's side had to once again show plenty of fight, sparking a night of big celebrations all across Queensland.
It wasn't a game regional Queenslanders were willing to miss. Travelling hundreds of kilometres to watch our men in maroon take on the mighty storm. Back at home, caravan parks held watch parties. Cape Palmerston Holiday Park setting up the big screen. At Bundy Bowl, footballs were up for grabs. Oktoberfest interrupted at Townsville Brewing Co. with rowdy Broncos fans. Thousands watching heartthrob turned NRL legend Reece Walsh help Queensland break its premiership drought with a 26-22 defeat. Linville Hotel erupted. Screams filling neighbourhoods as die-hard fans roared from their living rooms. A sense of relief Rockhampton's Ben Hunt felt deeply. The Blackwater Crushers Juniors' 2015 mistake all but forgotten.
We travelled down in 2023 for the grand final and came home very heartbroken, so it was definitely redemption last night.
Today the team returned home and another roaring Queensland crowd was right there to greet them.
People saying, well, it's all happening in Queensland at the moment, and it is. It's a really great time.
The Sunshine State burning with pride. Caitlin Stedman, 7 News.
Yeah, wasn't it fantastic? And there'll be plenty more footy action a little later in sport. But ahead tonight, the Coast Community Group is getting a boost from the federal government. Also a call to join a national bug hunt to help protect our wildlife.
Sunshine Coast turns to 7 News to keep up to date on local issues, and we want you to be part of it. If there's something happening in your street, your suburb, we want to know about it. Send us a message or drop us an email.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. 24 local community groups have been given a funding boost to get their projects off the ground. They will share in nearly $200,000 from 2 federal government programs.
For organisations like Dicky Beach Surf Life Saving Club, a little funding can go a long way. It's received $3,500 for new equipment for its Pippies program, ensuring everyone can enjoy the water.
You'd be used to purchase specific boards for people with disabilities and also a manual lift to enable people to be lifted off their wheelchairs into a floating wheelchair.
And for heritage-listed Padamore House, the funding will help volunteers of the 20th century property learn computer skills in line with the 21st.
It's going to enable us to undergo training on how to use our website to maximum advantage.
A combined total of $178,000 will be divided among 24 groups as part of the Stronger Communities and Volunteer Grants program.
These local community groups just simply couldn't operate without that additional funding and a little bit of a helping hand.
With the groups receiving between $1,000 and $15,000 to upgrade their structures, equipment and technology.
That'll help them continue to grow, support others and strengthen our region.
Lily Wyatt, 7 News.
A main road running through the Aura housing estate is being expanded, with work underway from this week. The 1.4-kilometre stretch of Aura Boulevard will be duplicated to 2 lanes in each direction between Bells Creek Arterial Road and Edwards Terrace. Construction will take place between 7 a.m. and 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, with the project expected to be complete late next year. A call has gone out for Queensland kids to become bug detectives by snapping and sharing photos of insects. They're being asked to step into a hidden world right on their doorstep, helping wildlife experts and finding bugs that are often going unnoticed.
They may be small, but these critters are vital.
Invertebrates and bugs are the foundation of a healthy ecosystem and a healthy environment.
The Australia-wide Bug Hunt is a partnership between the Invasive Species Council, Invertebrates Australia and Australian Geographic.
It's turning nature lovers and Aussie kids into biosecurity heroes across the country, and it's super easy to take part.
All kids have to do is jump onto the iNaturalist app, upload a picture of a creature,
a ladybug, grasshoppers. I love playing with geckos.
And a team of experts will determine the type. Jessica says it's the perfect chance for children to explore the outdoors.
But about 70% of native species in Australia, native invertebrate species, are currently undescribed by Western science. So that's about 200,000 native species that we don't know yet that you could be finding.
The activity can also help protect invasive species before it's too late.
Things like fire ants in Queensland spray acid and form super colonies that spread vast areas. And if we can catch them early before they spread, the cost of controlling that impact can be much less.
Sienna Bell, 7 News.
A great program to get kids interested in what's going around up below them.
Could be a new Ace Ventura bug detective right out there. New movie.
Could be. Well, Nath, as we saw earlier, it's been a pretty good day to be a Brisbane fan.
It has indeed, yeah, Joe. The celebrations roll on, especially for their 2 Kiwana Broncos, who won their first premiership rings. We'll have plenty more highlights from the big games next. And over 400 runs in 3 one-dayers. Surely a WBBL contract is coming for scorcher Michaela Wrigley.
Connecting you first.
And welcome back. And as we saw earlier, Bronx Nation are still celebrating yesterday's amazing grand final day where 2 Kiwana players won their first NRL premiership rings. It started with Hayley Maddock and Brisbane's women's side claiming a thriller before Tyson Smoothie made it a delightful double in the men's.
The Broncos returned home with extra luggage after ending a 19-year premiership drought in Sydney last night.
Feeling fantastic, on top of the world. Bit of a headache, but that's to be expected, but yeah, feeling unreal.
It was a first premiership for 355 NRL game veteran Ben Hunt, who finished the match on the sideline after being concussed.
Wow, this is disaster for Brisbane. Reynolds gone and now Ben Hunt's about to join him.
Utility Tyson Smoothie stepped into the halves with Corey Pakes playing plenty of hooker, but an ever-present in the spine starred. Reece Walsh delivered one of the great grand final performances. The Livewire produced a stunning solo try in the first half on the back of Kobe Hetherington's defence-splitting run.
And Walsh comes rampaging onto the ball!
When Walsh wasn't scoring, he was setting them up. The Broncos blitzing Melbourne after the break, producing 14 unanswered points to triumph 26-22.
It's pretty awesome to be back home, bring the trophy, and yeah, it's good.
Brisbane's women also came from behind in the NRLW decider. Tries to Tamika Upton and Jada Ferguson had the Broncos ahead 12-0 at half-time.
Ferguson from dummy half, spinning away over, thinks she scored, and the referee's going to give this try.
The Roosters returned serve with 18 straight points, but back-to-back Brisbane tries prevented back-to-back tricolour titles.
Very overwhelmed, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just very grateful, very proud of the team.
Nathan Ferguson, 7 News.
And the Coast's Brad Tronk and Luke Kimber are celebrating their own title after Queensland Country won the Australian Rugby Shield for the 2nd straight year. The Heelers led the final 26-3 at half-time, but New South Wales stormed back into the contest and trailed by just 3. But the reigning champs survived the scare.
For the win! And that will do it. The Heelers are barking. They've silenced the Cockatoo fans.
Queensland Country's women's side, they finished third after beating South Australia. Sunshine Coast Lightning goalkeeper Courtney Bruce delivered an MVP performance in Australia's opening test victory over South Africa on the weekend. The 31-year-old looked rejuvenated back on the international stage after a long absence due to injuries. Brown finished the game with 4 intercepts in the hosts' 11-goal victory.
To go out there and know that I had the backing of the coaches but also the backing of the girls, I'm just, very grateful to be able to pull on the green and gold dress still.
Lightning sharpshooter Cara Conan slotted 10 goals for the hosts, who made it a remarkable 47th straight win over South Africa. They'll look to make it 48 when the teams face off again in Wollongong on Wednesday night. Michaela Wrigley is batting herself into the WBBL, according to her Sunshine Coast Scorchers coach, after another impressive performance yesterday in Queensland cricket. The opener scored an unbeaten 85 in their 10-wicket one-day win over the Gold Coast.
After choosing to bat at Kerry Emray Oval, the visitors were all out for 150. And that total was never going to be enough, especially with the form of scorcher Michaela Wrigley.
Batting the way that she's batting at the moment, and I'm really happy for her because I know how hard she works in her game.
Her unbeaten 85 saw the Coast win by 10 wickets. The captain scored 436 runs in the first 3 one-dayers, including last week's 250, and is yet to get out. Her coach is certain the opener will earn a WBBL contract after the Brisbane Heat didn't re-sign her this summer.
That's what we want the girls to be working towards, is playing the highest level they can, and she's knocking on the door, and if she keeps going the way she's going, surely it'll come soon.
Fellow opener Peyton Meredith patiently put together an unbeaten 43 after taking 3 wickets earlier.
Yeah, 2 on the trot. I think the girls are feeling good about their games, where they're at.
The Scorchers did their best defending 215 in their game against Wests.
It was alright, definitely improvement from last week. Still areas to work on though, but we put in a good fight.
The visitors won by 3 wickets. The Coast remain winless after 4 rounds of the one-day comp. Nathan Ferguson, 7 News.
And another Sunshine Coast Scorcher men's team will play at the Gabba later this year after a great weekend up in Cairns at the Bulls Masters Country Challenge. The side, made up of players from the local comp, went through the pool stages unbeaten, then smashed the Darling Downs by 9 wickets in yesterday's semi. They'll face the Central Queensland Seamers on December 27 in the final.
Super proud of the boys' efforts over the weekend. We've had a pretty inexperienced team, and we've built throughout the 3 games over the weekend, and come away with the chocolates, so couldn't be more happy with the lads.
The match will be held as a curtain raiser to a Brisbane Heat Big Bash game. So to Jared and all the boys, what a weekend, what an effort. The first time they'll be playing at the Gabba.
Special
moment, Joe.
Yeah, very special.
Bring it on. Thank you.
Thanks, Nate. Stay with us after the break. Livio joins us and he'll have all the weather details for us.
Good evening, Livio Regano with tonight's weather. It's incredible how quickly the moods shifted from cool breezes and plentiful winter rain to such a long and unforgiving run of dry, crunchy springtime heat and bushfire haze. And over the next week, it's just going to keep getting hotter with barely enough rain to settle the dust. After a brief but welcome respite from the heat over the weekend, the mercury's once again on the rise. Today's temperatures were generally a few degrees above average, the highest being 32 degrees at Nambour and Gympie. So we'll take a look at the satellite loop now, and as usual it's only far north Queensland that's getting the cloud. Some very light showers falling out of that. The rest of the state generally dry and quite clear, although clear is not really the right word with so much bushfire haze and smoke around. There's a lot of frontal cloud now over the southern states, and we'll be seeing more of that because the westerlies are starting to move north because of the stratospheric warming we're experiencing at the moment. If you look at today's chart, you'll see that the subtropical high pressure belt, which normally stays over central Australia in winter, is still there despite it being spring. So all the fronts and westerly wind belt have moved north, allowing those dry, hot winds to come across southern and central Australia, and that includes southeast Queensland. In the tropics, so the winds are more onshore, so so we're still getting enough moisture for a couple of light showers. You can see as the week unfolds, though, this inland trough becomes more dominant, continuing to bring down that warm, hot tropical air into southern and central Queensland, making for very high temperatures and more shower activity in the northern tropics where the winds are still onshore. So now the latest from the Weather Bureau, the boating forecast for Sunshine Coast waters. Northwest winds reaching 25 knots at times tomorrow, seas under 2 metres though. And then we got 15 to 20 knot northerlies for Wednesday and Thursday. Surf's about 1 metre on the open beaches, and those swells from the southeast. Winds are from the north, so we're getting the usual choppy conditions at Alex and Noosa. Full moon tomorrow, 2 high tides of equal magnitude and both pretty decent, 1 in the morning, 1 in the late evening, and a low tide around mid-afternoon. For the southeast coast, sunny though smoke haze around and high fire danger. Maroochydore 15 to 31 degrees, Nambour 33, Gympie 34. Looking ahead, expect no rain for the next 7 days and you won't be disappointed. Top temperatures steady at close to 30 degrees and nights warming up as well. And that's all for this evening, my friends. Pleasure to have your company as always, and thanks for watching 7 Local Weather. I'll be here again tomorrow with more on the latest. Hope you can join me. Now it's back to the team.
Great, thanks for that, Liv. Well, that's all from us for tonight. Thanks for your company this Monday. We hope you enjoy the long weekend, and we'll have updates throughout the evening. And don't forget, you can also catch up on 7 Plus or download the 7 News app. From all of us here, enjoy your evening. Good night.